What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jack, and I'm back with another episode of A Daily Dose. Today, we're going to be talking about why people treat you differently in society when you are fit and in shape. If you want to watch the video from the original content creator, it'll be in the description box below. I don't want to waste too much time. Let's just jump straight into it.
A man who walks into the room and is jacked, sharp dressed, and looks great, he demands respect from people in that room before he even opens his mouth. Now you take a man that's out of shape, sloppy dressed, with bad posture, walks into the same room, no one's going to bat an eye or probably even speak to him or listen to what he has to say. It's the harsh truth, but that's the way the world is today. They judge people by what they see. So if this post triggers you in any way, then make that change. Do something to better yourself.
The world shouldn't treat you better when you lose weight, but it does. I put a poll up on my story, and 98% of people who lost weight or got into better shape said that people treat them differently. I actually asked my own clients as well, just to confirm. I absolutely hate it that it's true, because your worth shouldn't change just because your body changed. But I don't think people are only responding to weight loss. I think they're responding to the standards that became visible. When you start training, eating better, keeping promises to yourself, and carrying yourself differently, people feel that. You can fake money, status, success online, but a genuinely fit, healthy body, it's impossible to fake. So don't let that make you bitter. Instead, let it wake you up. Yes, your worth didn't change, your standards did, and people respond to that.
Agreed. The truth of the matter is, it doesn't feel good to be judged based off your appearance. However, obviously, this is the real world, and that's how we gauge things. We only have five senses, and sight and smell is going to be one of those senses that we use to gauge people initially. When you're engaging with someone who's in shape, even a child, let's just say a child, they understand it. They couldn't explain it to you, but they tend to gravitate to you more. They feel safer for some reason. But if you think about what it takes to be in a position where you are consistently in shape, it requires obviously consistency, some motivation, discipline. And all of those things, all those traits right there, those are things that go into other aspects of your life. And without knowing it, I think that we all instinctively see that, and we want those type of people around us, because one is going to make you that way, right? Eventually, if that person, whether that person is dragging you along or they're just inspiring you, you might be, and they don't have to be better than you to inspire you. You can see somebody, I see people all the time who, are young and coming up, and I see that they got that, um, they determined, right? And that kind of relights something in me personally. Pause. And I want to get back into it. I want to be, better. I get a little bit of um gas, if you will, fuel, if you will, to keep pushing. Especially when I see older people, whether it be a woman or a man that's 50 plus, 60 plus years old, and they're still getting after it. Okay, boom. That lit a fire. Now I want to get to where they are. When now I'm their age, I want to be that fit 50, 60, 70-year-old person. Hell, I want to go to 100, and the young kids get inspired to pursue, that path.
The crazy physique and watch how other men start looking at you, because they'll either look at you in awe and show some sort of appreciation for what you've actually achieved, or it'll be the complete opposite, where they look at you with so much jealousy and hate and just the meanest, dirtiest looks because you look better than them.
People treat you differently based on what you look like. That is why when you lose weight, your whole life kind of changes or alters, or your whole life experience changes. Because at the end of the day, whether we realize we're doing it or not, we treat people based on what they look like. Yes, there are exceptions. There are people who don't do that. Me, I try my best not to do that. But the reality is, most people treat people based on what they look like, whether they want to acknowledge that fact or not. And if you think, oh, I've never done that, you're just not self-aware. Or if you think that does not exist, I want to live in the world you live in. The way you dressed, the way you do your hair, the way you portray, people treat you differently based on that. There's been studies that says, like, if women wear makeup to the workplace, they're treated differently. If, like, I would never understand why people don't understand that factor. And then you can argue and say, well, not everybody. That's a small exception. That is just my opinion. People treat you better.
It's everybody. Whether they aware of it or not, it's everybody. We all do it. And it's really nothing wrong with it, because we live in a society where we don't just, unalive people. You just ignore them. If you're not interested in somebody for whatever reason, you're not going to pay attention to it. I'm not interested in makeup. I don't care about it. But women are interested in makeup. They're not interested in video games. A lot of people are interested in Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out, myself included. Women don't care about that. Not the majority of them. They don't care about that. So it's not just because it's a person, we take it personally. There's going to be groups of people who, we just have to find our group. You have to find your group, and you'll fit in there. Otherwise, if you want society to accept you, then you have to do what is required by society in order to gain that attention. It's just like, getting any type of degree. There's requirements that you need to complete. There's curriculum that you need to complete before you can obtain that degree. You can't get that job until you obtain that training, whatever it be. On the job training, education requirement. And we can't complain about it. It's not going to change. So that all that it should be this way. It's not going to be. It's this way. Now, you can waste your life trying to change it, but even if you did change it within your lifetime, you wouldn't benefit from it. You wouldn't benefit from it. The next generation probably would benefit from it, or maybe the next generation. Some generation after you is going to benefit from it. So, you can have a dual mandate, try to fix it if you want, but also benefit from it if you can. I choose to benefit from it. There's so much stuff that just won't be able to be changed. And I just know I'm not that person to try to change it. So I'm going to do what I need to do to, again, ensure that I have the best outcome in life without stepping on people doing bad business.
Better based on what you look like. If you are dressed in, let's say, a suit, people are more likely to respect you a little bit more. Granted, again, there's some exceptions to the rule, because I know some of y'all gonna go crazy in the comment section, but that's the truth. That is the truth. And if you're dressed you're going to be addressed like one. And if you're dressed modestly, a lot of times there's exceptions to that one. I'm not gonna go too deep. But yeah, I just find it really hard to believe how people don't understand that you are treated based on your appearance, whether you like it or not. That is just simply the world we live in.
Having fit privilege is the exact same thing as pretty privilege, and you can see it. You can see it nowadays, how everybody wants to be a gym girly or a fitness influencer or a gym bro. Everybody wants to attain. Everybody wants to have that fit look. Why? Because you get treated better. People respect you. It shows you have discipline. You're motivated. You're consistent. You care about your outward appearance, and you're willing to put in the work to get there. And everybody wants their quick fix to try and get there. They want to take a shot or a supplement or whatever it is to try and attain that, because they see the benefits. Everybody sees it as they walk around. You get treated better when you start caring about yourself, because you're invested and your life starts to increase around it. You see the wealthiest people walking around with fit bodies because they realize how much of an investment it is to care about yourself and the things that you reap just because you did that. It's hard. It is hard to get there, but once you do, it starts seeping into every sector of your life, and you'll never want to lose that privilege again. And it may not be easy to do, but being fit is something that everybody can achieve. You just have to put the work in.
I don't know if it's only me, but I swear there's such thing as hench privilege. You get into shape and all of a sudden people treat you differently. People are nicer, they smile at you, they give you space to go past. I don't know if it's fear or admiration, but I definitely have clocked a difference.
And real quick, I just want to interject because I'm trying to formulate a direction for this channel. I want it to be funny. I definitely want to talk about relationships, but also I want people to understand that, man, fitness is really gonna be the key to having like a better life. It just is. Again, this privilege that they're talking about, it is real, and you can only experience it once you go over there, right? So if you're unhealthy, you go to the healthy side long enough for you to see the results. A lot of people fall off around that 3 to 6 month mark. If you're in the gym at all, then you understand the term the new year, new me people, right? So they'll come in the gym for a period of time and then they'll leave. You'll never see them again. They just fall off the wagon because it's not a easy thing to obtain over time. And the physique that you want is gonna take some years unless you're blasting. So, and I wouldn't recommend you do that because the trade-off is just not worth it. You're gonna have bad skin. It just goes against my principles. You're gonna have pimples all over your skin. I've seen some dudes who own gear or whatever they call it nowadays, but they got horrible skin, facial skin, and all over their body. And then I was completely out when they was talking about when it affects your Johnson. Like, hey, look, I'm out. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it, right? But there is a privilege. You might as well try to obtain it, and hell, even stack on it. And like I said, it goes against the privileges. I mean, the principles, which is fitness, finance, fashion, right? So again, obtaining it, being on that side, it will seep into everything else. And you will want to maintain these three things, and you will have a better time in life with men and women. Men will want to be cool with you. They'll want to be around you just because they know that, one, women are going to want to be around you. Hell, I've been out. It's a couple, me and my boys. I've been out. We've been out, and guys will want to just come around us because one or two girls might have came over, right? We with a group of girls, so the guys want to be around you. I don't want to get too long winded, but it's worth it, and that's why again I want to talk about the relationships, talk about fitness, but not really talk about money. But hey, listen, you should invest your money. I'll give you a little. I'll say little nuggets like that, right? Because I'm not a financial advisor, I can't give financial advice, but what I could recommend is, again, you find something to invest in that will pay you somewhere between 3 to 4% a year. Fitness, fashion, and it's not easy to get the fitness. You have to really, fitness is going to be the base, and you have to put everything around that, right? You have to put yourself in the position first to even do that. So it's not an easy task, but it is worth chasing.
Tell me I'm not the only one who noticed this.
Most people don't have time to get to know you, so we all judge a book by its cover. They're going to look at you and immediately they're going to make a snap judgment. Respect, no respect. And the way that's going to be determined is how you look. Are you overweight? Are you in shape? Do you look like you take care of yourself? What's your hygiene like? Where you're heading in life, your conversation, the way you carry yourself. All of these things matter, so keep working on yourself.
What you guys got to understand about getting in shape is that people will definitely treat you better if you're in shape. As someone who used to be fat, getting in shape changes how people treat you. Unfortunately, like it or not, that's how it is. People judge a book by its cover before they even read the first page. Whether we like it or not, first impressions are very important. People typically assume fit people are strong, disciplined, have self-respect, and they might even attribute some positive personality traits to your character, which might not even be true. It's your job to be the best version of yourself so you can get all the opportunities you can in life.
Besties, what are we?
You know what? That was a great way to put it. I mean, he basically said what I was saying. Hey, listen, life is gonna be this way. Try to change it if you want, but benefit from it, right? And fitness is a net positive. You're healthier. You know what I'm saying. You're gonna live longer. You look better in clothes. When you in that bedroom, you got way more stamina. You got the shoulders. You got the arms. You can do all the tricks. Right? You know what I'm saying? If you seen Baby Boy, you know what I'm talking about.
Want some breakfast?
Jumping up and down, all that. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Let's talk a minute while I got a little bit of downtime before I got to go pick up the basketball team from the airport. But we're going to talk about how people treat you when you're fat and overweight. The day and night difference is literally incredible. I've lost 225 pounds, and I went from being basically invisible to random people. I mean, my friends treated me nice. You know, you have to be funny. You got to be the funny fat guy. It's how you make friends, how you get anybody to notice you. You probably make fun of yourself before they can make fun of you, because it tends to negate how much people make fun of you when you're bigger or overweight or something. But people just go from like treating like you're invisible, or you're just disgusting to look at, like you're not really a person. They pretend you're not there. You're the biggest in the room, but you feel the smallest in the room. And now on the flip side, now that I'm rather fit and conventionally attractive, I weigh about 183 pounds. I went from 400 to 183. 173 at my lowest. I'm bulking right now. And getting looks in the gym that aren't looks of like disgust are just, it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really sure what to do with it. Luckily, I don't have to worry about it a ton. I've been very fortunate enough to have the same girlfriend through the whole entire process, but being treated differently by strangers is definitely mind-boggling, and not getting like nasty looks or just somebody looking at you real fast and then looking away or something like that is just, crazy day and night difference. And
It sucks to have to say this, but you get treated 1,000 times better when you're in shape. And I was never really obese or super thin, anything extreme, but I was just average, whatever.
And real quick, I again, because I can't stress this enough, you shouldn't. That should be a good thing. Think about the percentage of people that can obtain that, right? And you hear people say that it costs no money. That's not true. It costs money. You have to buy. You have to be taking the right supplements. You have to be eating the right amount of proteins, carbs, the right foods, and it's not cheap. It's not as expensive as DoorDashing or Uber eating every day. It's definitely not as expensive as that, but it's gonna cost you a little bit of money. So the budget should be. I mean, it's probably gonna be around $500 to $1,000, depending on the person. It could be more. As you go on, you add massages and start doing body work and things of that nature. Your self care budget will go up, right? So maybe that'll be the part I introduce. Well, we talk about a self care budget, right? Because you have a self care budget, maintain yourself, right? And then you have a budget for everything else. But you should want this to be a difficult thing, because if it was super easy and everybody had it, what would be the next hard thing? Think about it, if fitness is hard and that everybody was able to do it, then that means the next thing has to be even harder, because there's always going to be a top whatever percent, no matter where you are, what sector you are, what you're into. There's always a ranking system, always.
But once I'd put muscle on and I got fit, ooh, game changer. And I don't even think it's intentional. I think it's just subconscious for the people that are being nicer to me. They're not like, oh, she's fit, so I'm going to go be nice to her. I think just how you present yourself, you just look a lot more welcoming. I don't know if welcoming's a word, but you just present yourself. You just have aura, I guess. I don't know.
It's so crazy how differently people treat you when you lose weight. As somebody whose weight has fluctuated a bit throughout adulthood, it's so crazy how differently people treated me in a bigger size versus a smaller size. Like even small things that you don't really think about, like niceties, like people holding the door open for you or giving you a soft smile out in public, like those go away when you're past a certain threshold of weight. And this is exactly why no one could ever convince me that fat phobia isn't real, because I myself have experienced a difference in how people treat you in different bodies. And it's always so telling because nothing about me will have changed except for the number on the scale, but somehow that makes people treat me entirely different. And it's strangers, it's people in my real life, like it's everyone. It's just so sad. Like I wish we would do better.
All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you thought about today's video. I think I want to, like I said, I want to rotate these into the channel because I also want to offer a solution, even though we do laugh at the problems within the relationship space and we point them out. So I guess we point and laugh. But also there is a solution to avoid a lot of this chaos and nonsense that people have to deal with um in the market. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much my solution would be what has helped me focusing on fitness, finance, fashion. And that tends to get you better results within life with all people, right? So everybody respects that. Men and women, old, young, it doesn't matter. Even babies, even children respect it. So that's all I got for you guys today. Remember, make time for that gym again. Make an honest buck, right? And make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, turn on post notifications if you are subscribed. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about today's video. Let me know about your experiences if you've had any. Even if you're curious to go on the journey, I definitely would recommend that you record it. But that's all I got for you guys. Till the next episode. Peace.